Dora, Boots, and their friends were playing a game of hide and seek outside. Senora Tucan announced that if Dora and her friends were all found, they'd win the big trophy. Ready to play? They first counted everyone, which the answer was 8. Decided who would be it. Dora offered the role to me at home, and I accepted. Dora and her friends went off to hide. Then Dora counted to 5 with me. I began seeking. Dora hinted that she was hiding behind a bush the same color as her pink shirt, and I found Dora by the pink flowers. Next, it was time to find Boots. Dora said he was hiding behind a tree the same color as his boots. I found him in the red fruit tree. So far, I found Dora and Boots. Max started hopping on the path, and I found him in the white buttercups. Now I had found 3 friends, but Backpack Benny, Issa, Tico, and Senor Tucan were still hiding. Luckily, Map knew where to look for them: the spooky cave, the squirrel trees, and then finally the rainforest to find Senor Tucan. As they kept looking, Backpack peeked out from a bush and then hid somewhere else. Backpack was hiding in a pile of leaves the same color as she was. A voice in the red leaves called out, "Butterfly, butterfly." A voice in the purple leaves said, "Backpack, backpack." A voice in the yellow leaves went, "Bah, bah." And a voice in the green leaves went, "Bugga, bugga." I found Backpack in the purple leaves. The other hiders came out of their hiding spots. A butterfly, a sheep, and a bugga, bugga. Perhaps Mommy Bugga, bugga? After finding 4 friends, Dora and Boots made it to the spooky cave. Benny called out from inside. It was dark inside, so they got a flashlight out of Backpack. After that, they heard Swiper the fox. Swiper was really good at hiding. Dora and Boots saw Swiper under some green leaves and stopped him from swiping the flashlight. Dora and Boots and I went searching for Benny. Dora saw somebody behind a big rock and asked me who was hiding there. It was Benny the Bull. Benny came out of hiding and then heard a growling sound. Benny thought he hadn't picked a good hiding spot. Dora, Boots, and Benny found another big rock. Dora wondered who could be behind that rock, and it was a purple bear. Dora thought they must have woken him up. Benny called out, "Let's get out of here," and Benny, Dora, and Boots quickly did so. Suddenly, the bear went back to sleep. Dora, Boots, and Benny went ahead to keep searching. Next, Dora, Boots, and Benny and I had to find Issa the iguana. We found her in the tall grass. Now I had found Dora, Boots, Map, Backpack, Benny, Issa. Tico and Senor Tucan were still hiding. We reached the squirrel trees and heard Tico yelling, "Vengan a buscarme," which meant "come and look for me" in Spanish. There are lots of different squirrels doing different things. So they found Tico, who's purple and wears a rainbow striped vest. So far, we found everyone except Senor Tucan, who happens to be in the rainforest. Suddenly we encountered giant leaves, and Dora had an idea. She decided to pull the leaves apart. Once all the giant leaves are pulled apart, they entered the rainforest. Senor Tucan said, "Vengan a buscarme," which meant "come and find me" in Spanish. Dora and her friends had to figure out what they could ride on to find Senor Tucan. They saw a tram car. They had to climb the ladder to get into the tram car. Dora and her friends took turns climbing the ladder. Tico went first. Issa went second. Benny went third. Boots went fourth, and Dora went last. Everybody got in the tram car and went riding through the rainforest. They found lots of animals, including a howler monkey, a jaguar, even a sloth who was asleep. Sure enough, Senor Tucan was